and then it puts spark, right? So that's what it does, is it distributes spark to these guys. And then when that little piece of metal comes around and makes contact inside the cap, right? This sparks, it arcs electricity between there and there, right? And then so when the motor is compressing air and fuel, that spark sets it on fire and it creates an explosion, which drives the piston down, which turns the crankshaft.
If it makes an explosion, why does it not the entire boat?
Because it's contained within the cylinder, right? So you have compression, and you have your cylinder heads here, right, where your head gaskets are, and that keeps it all contained. And then you have valves that close that cylinder up and then open it, right? So you have an intake valve and an exhaust valve. So the intake valve opens and it lets air and fuel in, right? And then it closes, and then the piston comes up and it compresses everything. And then while it's all closed, it explodes, sends it down, right? And then when it comes back up, the exhaust valve opens and it lets all that air out. And then it restarts. You know why they call it a 4-stroke engine? Because there's 4 strokes to the piston, right? So the piston...
4 strokes are legal in California.
They're legal. So on a lot of lakes you can't have a 2-stroke, because a 2-stroke lets oil out into the water. So it's called a 4-stroke because the piston, so say this is your piston, right? So it starts here at top dead center and it goes down. That's called your intake stroke. Then it goes up. That's called your compression stroke. Then it goes down again. That's called your power stroke, right? Because that's where the explosion happens. And then when it comes back up again, it's called your exhaust stroke, and it pushes all the gas out, and then it restarts at the top. So intake, compression, power, exhaust. And then it just keeps going on all 8 cylinders. And then you have a firing order, which I can't remember exactly what it is, but you have your cylinders. You have 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. It's pretty simple, actually, when you get down to it. All right, so now what we do